conventional paths?
What do I think of conventional paths?
What is a conventional path in your mind?
Well, I don't like them, so.
Is that just like the 9 to 5?
No, I think a conventional path is doing what everyone around you grew up does. Like, if everyone around you does a certain thing, so it's obviously specific. If you're, in India, it might be in a certain part of the neighborhood, it might be becoming a farmer. That's the conventional path. In America, if you go to business school, it might be becoming a consultant or investment banker. I think philosophically, the reason the conventional path is not the path to take is deeply rooted in the uniqueness of being unique, of actually being different from other people. And I think the older you get, the less different you are, the more boring you ultimately become to society, and the more boring your life ultimately is as in general. Because this is what happened when you take a conventional path. There's sort of the key things that everyone ends up doing. You get a job, you get a significant other, you get a nice house, and you start a family. That's pretty much universally what ends up happening when you take the conventional path as you grow into an adult. Get a job, get a family, get a place to live, and then settle down. And I ask myself, what's the value in that? And there is really a lot of value in that. I mean, there's a value in waking up on a Sunday with your girlfriend in a nice house. Both of you have good incomes, so you both go and you go take a walk out to the street, you go get some coffee, get some lunch, and you come home and then you get ready for work on Monday. That's actually not a bad thing. I think that's actually really cute. I think that's exciting, and I think that's like a moment to enjoy in life. But at some level, that also gets repetitive. And at some level, I think the question becomes, what is the unique value of that in comparison to the unconventional thing you could do? Meaning, what is the unique value to going to a job every day, coming home and doing the same thing and having that same routine? What is the unique value to going out to date night every Friday and enjoying that date with your significant other? There are valuable things to these experiences. The problem is they are so universal and they are experienced by so many people that the value of them ultimately decreases in the grand scheme of life because they have been done before. No one really praises you if you buy a phone, because a lot of people have a phone. Now that phone might offer you some rich experiences, but at the end of the day, it's just a phone. Now, if you make a new phone, you get a lot of praise, right? But that's an unconventional path. That's doing something different. So philosophically, doing something unconventional means you will have experiences that are not conventional. And if you have experiences that are not conventional, that means you will have to do things that are fundamentally differentiated from what other people are doing, which means you will be in a position that at least sets up a framework or facilitates the foundation for your life to be a bit more exciting to me. And that's not conventional. And that's exciting. That's important to me. I think the reason I've also been so against conventional paths is because if you're doing the same thing everyone else is doing, there's no way to show why you're different than anyone else. So if you go to business school, just like everyone goes to business school, then you get a job just like everyone gets a job, and then you go to, Puerto Rico for vacation just like everyone goes to Puerto Rico. It's like, what's really so unique about you? There's really nothing. You could be replaced in a second. You could die and your company won't care about you. Like, there's really very little value to the grand scheme of what you're contributing to society. And that's not to be mean. That's just the truth. Like, that's just what it is when you do something that's conventional. Having the courage to be unconventional means that you've decided to think for yourself. You've decided to manufacture a path that you believe is suitable. And the reason it's suitable to you is because it's not suitable to 99% of the other people, which means it's something unique that you've created in your head. And then having the courage to act upon that path, even though it is different from what everyone else is doing, means that you're giving yourself the ability to do something unique. And I think that's all I want at the end of the day, as simple as it is. I just want to be unique.
It seems that way.
It seems that way, right?
You just want to be different.
I just want to be different. And like, there may be an argument that like, oh, that's just stupid. Why do you just want to be different? And like, I really don't think that's stupid. I really think being different is a good thing. I think you wither away into the boringness and mundaneness of life if you just do what everyone else does. And I think I recognized that at a pretty early age in college, which is why I rejected a lot of the things that college was imposing on me. And look, if all of this fails, maybe I end up doing the same boring thing that everyone else is doing. Sure. But before that happens, I have to at least try to be different. And I think that's the thing I notice about a lot of, they never try to be different. It's like, it's just, here's what you do. Okay, I'm just going to go do it. And I'm never going to try to think for myself and try something else. It comes with a lot of stability. I think that's the basic reason people don't want to be different. It's very easy to not be different. You don't have to worry. You don't ever have to risk or embrace any type of adventure in your life because you were doing what everyone else is doing. And now people will come back and be like, yeah, but everything's subjective. Everyone has a unique life experience. Everyone has different, things. So even if you are the same as everyone else, your life is different because of the unique nature of your life. And then I think to myself, is it actually that different? So for example, I was celebrating Diwali last night with my parents. I have a lot of Indian friends who were doing the same thing with their parents, to the point where they were eating the same food that I was eating last night. They were sending me pictures. I was like, oh, we're eating the same food as well. How different are those experiences at the end of the day?
Have you ever gone skydiving?
I've never gone skydiving, no.
There's probably other people who work 9 to 5s who gone skydiving. That's a unique characteristic.
Sure, it's just in the grand scheme of things, I'm not sure how unique it is. But this is what I mean by really embracing risk and embracing danger. So going back to that Diwali point, if all of us are still having dinner with our families in this one night, the only unique thing about those dinners is that it's our individual families that we're having dinners with. That's what makes it different. But at the end of the day, we're all having dinner on this one occasion. So it's not that different. It's the same experience. And we're going to do it every single year, every single Diwali. It's going to be the same experience every time. It's just you get to feel something special because you're with your family having that experience, but it's the same experience. And so to me, I'm like, okay, so even if you do the same thing as other people, there are differences within that same thing. But if they're not that different from what everyone else is doing, it still is incredibly conventional. It's still the same thing as everyone else. It's just minute differences within that same thing that makes it kind of feel special. And I don't think those minute differences are special enough to feel as if it's an unconventional path. So same thing with skydiving. It's like, yeah, a lot of people have skydived before. That's cool. That's nice. But I don't think that's a really unconventional path with your life. Like an unconventional path with your life is going on a journey that's risky, dangerous. You have a chance to fail. You have a chance to lose.
But does work equal life?
I mean, yeah, work is a good part of life.
Well, because, I don't know. I think of my parents, my mom's a librarian. She just sits on her ass all day, but she gives meaning to her life for the things she does outside of work.
Yeah, I'm not saying life can't be meaningful outside of work. I'm saying that doing something unconventional can potentially make life a lot more meaningful.
That's subjective, though.
Of course it's subjective. It's very subjective. My mom has a lot of meaning outside of her work as well. She makes jewelry, she does all this stuff, she's super creative. But I knew she wanted to be a fashion designer, and her parents didn't let her, so she didn't have the ability to go down an unconventional path. And I just imagine how different her life would be if she became a fashion designer. Maybe it could have failed horribly, but maybe she could have been one of the biggest fashion designers in India. Who knows? But you have to. But the opportunity to understand that requires embracing an unconventional path. And so I guess that's why I'm excited about unconventionality. It's not to shit on people who are taking a conventional path. It's to embrace the unknown of what exists outside of the conventional way. And that's important because you have very few opportunities in life to actually embrace what's unconventional. And so if you do what's conventional, which most of us do something conventional every day, we wake up every morning, we brush our teeth. A lot of us are doing the same basic thing. So in your work, and the thing that makes you different, if you could try to do something unconventional, and you have the courage to actually take the risk to be unconventional, that to me is something that is to be valued. Even if you end up failing, because you can always go and do the conventional thing later. You can always go work at a bank after everything fails. But trying to be unconventional probably is a good use of time before it all is all over.